When I followed the money, I found that it took me up the levels of a pyramid. Here we are at the bottom level going about our daily lives. Above us is government, people who are given a monopoly on force and use it to tax and control us whether or not we agree. But who controls them? At the next level are the corporations. Many would say that it is now corporations and not nation states that rule the world. They call it a corporatocracy. To acquire the world's resources and control the markets, this corporatocracy must have access to cheap money.
And they have access to this cheap money. This is how they dominate, control, and have all the wealth and resources across the globe. They control the monetary system. But you have an option. You have an option to opt out. What's that option? Bitcoin. And there's a brief clip from the Bitcoin bros that's telling you why you should opt out. Because if you truly understand money and you truly understand how money works, how the leaders, the global elite, utilize this money as a strategic play, not only to line their own pockets, but also for control, then you will start to ask yourself, well, do I have an option? Well, yes, you do. And that's why we're here. We're here to educate you about that option. And that option is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the true decentralized money of the internet and of the digital ecosystem. Will Bitcoin end up being a base layer for the global infrastructure? A lot of people think so, and that could be underway. Before we get to any of that, what's happening, crypto crew? Sean's coming back at you with another cryptocurrency video. We have a jam-packed video for you today, so you make sure you want to watch this one to the end. Getting straight into it, taking a look at an update from El Crypto Prof. Bitcoin, one of the strongest signals for Bitcoin, finally flashed today. The cross of the LMACD indicator. So if you look back in 2012, 2015, and 2019, this is when the bull run started based off this indicator. So looking here in 2012, we see that the indicator crossed to the upside. That then went for a parabolic run to the upside. And then we had another cross in 2015, and look what happened. Blast off. 2019, rinse, repeat, blast off. And 2023, does the bull run start again? Looks like we're getting that cross. We have to wait and see after the next couple closes to see if this definitely is going to cross over. Right now, it looks like we could be seeing an upside run. Another update from TA Trader Allen. A well-structured pattern is repeating in Bitcoin. Same consolidation yellow circle after the bottom. First target 50K at the 0.618. Next target 150K. We'll look at this before the video's out regarding the Bitcoin peak, but if you see, same fractal played out in 2019, came up to that 0.618, double bottomed out before the blast off, and then came up to that 0.618, double bottomed out before the blast off. This will take us up to that $150,000 range. Definitely a good find from TA Trader Allen. Like and retweet this. And then an update from Dial and Leclerc. Bitcoin's unfazed by volatility. The percent of Bitcoin dormant for 1+ year has hit another new all-time high. So you see that the hodlers are hodling. They're doing what they do. The previous high was 63%. Right now, the amount of Bitcoin that's been dormant over a year is almost 70% at 67.72%. And within time, these peaks tend to get higher and these troughs tend to get less steep. So what's that mean? The Bitcoin contagion effect is slowly catching on. Another update from Stock Money Lizard. What's he saying? He's saying buy, hodl, and sell. Right here, you hodl through, you buy down here, you sell up here. Buy down here, you sell up here. So once you get above this upper bound line here, that's when you should sell. When you get below this line or near it, that's when you should be buying. Right now is a buying opportunity. The Bitcoin bros have been telling you this. If you haven't been stacking sats, we don't know what you're waiting for. If you don't see all the inflationary pressures, the high rent prices, the high food prices, the high gas prices, things have subsided a little bit due to the rate hikes the Fed's been doing. We've talked about that in previous videos, but all in all, you see that they can't curb inflation. They can just tame it a little bit until it ultimately then blast up to the upside. But looking at this, if you look at this chart, you see where this is going. This is 120,000 right here, and this upper bound next high, next time you should sell, looks like it's between 120 and 400,000. That's if it came up here by 2024. But looking here, that could be around that $250,000 threshold. We'll look at the peak before this video's out once again, so stay tuned. Another update and another indicator showing us that Bitcoin is getting ready to have some type of major move, and it's most likely going to be to the upside. The monthly bullish RSI signal line is close to crossing. It only needs a little bullish impulse. You see right here, every time this comes up and crosses the black line, every single time, this is the indication that we're off to the races for a new bull rally to the upside. It normally takes about a couple years to play out. Doesn't happen overnight, but all in all, short to midterm, Bitcoin looks extremely bullish. Another update from TA Analyst, what he's saying is that we're on the midst of hitting this $300,000 threshold up here. And if you just look at the fractals playing out, we broke this, had a run up, a double bottom out before we hit this peak, and right now we broke this. And if we do something similar and have that run up, have a cool off, and then we can ultimately just get this double peak until we hit this upward bounds trend line, definitely a major price appreciation for Bitcoin. And then an update that we're going to take a closer look at from Stock Money Lizards. He's looking at Bitcoin versus the DXY. Interesting pattern here. You see every time the DXY tops, Bitcoin bottoms. And when this bottoms, Bitcoin peaks. What were we looking at? We're looking at this chart for you. We pulled this together. And if you just line up your charts from year to year, you can see that every time Bitcoin has a peak, the DXY is in the floor. And every time Bitcoin's at the bottom, DXY is at the top. So if we just see where this could take us out to after the 2024 halving, it looks like Bitcoin tends to come up to this upper bound. As you see, this is getting tighter and tighter the longer the price action stays in this range. So if Bitcoin comes up here after the 2024 halving, this is going to be over a $200,000 price target. Now, could it take the DXY that much longer to get down to the bottom? Most definitely. But Bitcoin, if it breaks this trend, the trend's your friend to the end. But all in all, it could be getting extremely parabolic. The halving is March of 2024. If we just go to the end of 2025, that takes Bitcoin over a $300,000 price target. So all in all, this looks extremely bullish. And as you see here, if we just draw, when we have this trend line and we come down, you see that it normally comes down before it intersects with this bottom support level. So right now, the DXY is falling very sharply. And how fast could this go back down to these levels? Could it be before 2023's out? And if that's the case, could Bitcoin see a peak before the end of 2023? And if we look at that, that's around that $160,000 threshold. So that $150,000 range we showed you earlier in this video could be what's in the cards for Bitcoin. So once again, this is Bitcoin versus the US dollar on top on the 3-day, and the US dollar index DXY on the 3-day as well. They're inversely correlated. The question is, how sharp is this fall down of the dollar going to come back down to this support level? And then if that's the case, if we do come down before the end of this year, will Bitcoin peak up and hit that $150,000 to $170,000 range? Or is the halving still intact, and could the dollar do some type of price action like this and have sort of a fall off, but then sort of come up, put in a higher low before ultimately putting in a lower low and hitting this downwards support band? The longer this takes, the more bullish it is for Bitcoin, because you see as time progresses, if Bitcoin peaks all the way towards the end of 2025, early 26, that's over a $300,000 threshold once again. And with that, I'm Sean with the Bitcoin Bros. If you guys like this content, go ahead and smash the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and show us some love. We appreciate the support. With that, that's all I have for you today, and I'm out.